Everyone. So Rui Hachimura has had himself quite the season thus far. You can make an argument that Rui Hachimura has been our most consistent guy, not named LeBron James. He hasn't really gotten the minutes consistently, right? You'll see like Rui, like one game will get 25 minutes, and the next game he'll get like 8 minutes. But even in those like short minute games, he's still been very productive, very active, very efficient for the Lakers so far this season. So he's played in 12 games so far, and he's averaged 23.3 minutes in those 12 games. He's had one start. He's averaging 8.6 field goal attempts per game, shooting 50% from the field and 43% from three on 3 attempts per game, which isn't a huge number of attempts, but still, I mean, that's pretty good considering that like he's always been around like a 2.5 to 3%, 3 point attempts per game type of guy, and he's historically around like 33 to 35%. He has a career average of 35%, but this is a guy that 43% is what he was like doing in the playoffs, and that's always been a big question. Can he translate the playoff success to the regular season success? And so far he has. He's shooting 54.4% from 2-point range, averaging 12 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, and half a block in that minute of time. But Rui Hachimura was out. Then we got right before the Houston Rockets game, and it was announced Jared Vanderbilt, Rui Hachimura, both guys were available and ready. And Rui Hachimura was cleared by doctors to return to that game. But you may have noticed that Rui Hachimura didn't play. And that was a big question. Where was Rui Hachimura? So it looks like we got an update per Darvin Ham. He says he went through his pregame workout and still a little iffy. Obviously, our player's health is a top priority for us, and the doctors did clear him, but still getting hit on the bridge of your nose and having to wear a mask again. He wasn't with us for a week. He was limited on what he could do on the court and whatnot. So just coming off of that nose surgery, so we felt it was best just to be proactive and be precautionary, and so that's where we landed. So again, it's unfortunate we didn't see Rui Hachimura play in that Houston Rockets game. Lakers were able to handle business essentially from the jump. Obviously, I mean, they started off a little, I mean, I loved the energy. I loved how they looked early on, but obviously it wasn't until that second quarter where we really started to pull away. And then at that point, it was just kind of weathering the storm. So it was great that we didn't need Rui Hachimura to kind of get to that point of like, okay, here we go. Here's that big extended run. Here's us basically gaining control of that game and then running away with it. So I love that that was the case in regards to, the Lakers against Houston. And now we got the Phoenix Suns coming up, right? It's best to be precautious or have precaution with Rui Hachimura, right? Like, it's early in the season still. You still have a lot of basketball left to be played. You had Rui available if need be, right? So like if it was coming down to something where it's like, man, we really need a bucket or we really need a guy that could provide some like you could have always just thrown him out there or did something if need be. It was kind of like a break glass in case of emergency type thing with Rui Hachimura, and that's fine, right? Now, to me personally, I'd rather take him and keep him as fresh as possible and as healthy as possible going into that Suns game. Now, Darvin Ham even talked about how he wasn't really, for like a week, he wasn't really with the team, he wasn't really working the way that he could. Obviously, having that surgery on your nose, he's got to wear a mask. Like, does that impact guys? We've seen plenty of players have to wear masks, and it just doesn't work out for everybody. More times than not, you see the guy end up just completely getting rid of the mask, right? Because they're just like, yeah, this is just, if anything, it's becoming a hindrance, a nuisance, annoying, right? So it would be, I get that you want to take your time with Rui, and I want to see them take their time with Rui. Very important piece for the Lakers, right? He's a guy that can come in, be a huge spark off the bench. We're all very excited to see, Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura and, Christian Wood and all these guys start clicking, start getting in the flow. It was great to see Jared Vanderbilt out there. He played limited minutes and came off the bench, but that was to be expected. I mean, I even talked about that heavily, that they're going to take their time with him. He's coming off where he hasn't even played a game yet this year. You don't want to just throw him out there with the Wolves and have him play 50 minutes, right? No, you want him to go in there, kind of get his feet wet, get his legs underneath him, allow him time to kind of just adjust to just the pace and the timing and just everything that goes into the game of basketball, right? At least with Rui's played half the game or more than half the games this year, right? And so he's got a little bit of a feel and a flow. And we saw like he missed, 2 or 3 games, something like that earlier on, came right back, and it was like he never left. He was just cruising again. And don't get me wrong, I'm very excited to see these two out on the court. I'm excited to see these two on the court with a Cam Reddish out there. Like, that would be a lot of fun. Vando and Reddish, seeing them out there and kind of them just hounding teams. Obviously, again, everything's going to take time, right? It's going to take time for Vando to get back into a groove, get back into a rhythm. Same thing with Rui, right? Like Darvin Ham talked about, he hasn't really gotten to play, hasn't really gotten to do anything. So, like, we want to ease him into it because I've said this before, there's no replicating actual NBA games, actual NBA minutes, actual, like, NBA production, right? Like, it's not. You can, scrimmage, you can run drills, you could get up 1,000 shots a day, you can work out at your local Y, play in some semi-pro team, you could do whatever you want. There's no replicating actual NBA minutes and getting real NBA production. There just isn't. And so, when you look at a player like Rui and Jared Vanderbilt, they're so important and have so much potential to be so impactful for the Lakers that you don't want to run the risk of anything. You don't want to run the risk of hampering them or causing even further injury or anything like that. You want to keep them as fresh. You want to keep them as productive. You want to keep them as, focused as possible and ready to show up. But still, you don't want to overwork them to now they're out. Say Rui gets smacked in the mouth again or the nose again, and all of a sudden he's out another 2 weeks. And it's like, we didn't really need him this game, right? Let's just wait and see. And my guess is they do the same thing against the Phoenix Suns, right? I think he'll suit up. He'll be ready to go for Phoenix if need be. And then if the Lakers are in a predicament where it's like, okay, we got to get Rui out there, or like Rui, it's like, hey, let's throw Rui out there and see if like he can be, a momentum changer, then I could see them definitely working him and throwing him out there. But I don't think that they're going to force the issue even with the Suns. And I mean, look, this upcoming Suns game is, if you had to pick a game, it would be the Suns game. Just because, it's the in-season tournament game. It's the knockout round. You win this, then you're 2 wins away from hoisting that new cup trophy and all that stuff. Like, if you're the Lakers, you're prioritizing, like, hey, we need to go beat Phoenix. And it's going to be really tough because now you're going to have to have beaten Phoenix for the 3rd straight time in like a month span. I mean, that's hard enough to do, period. Let alone a team like Phoenix who, I mean, they're a team that no one would be shocked if they win the NBA championship this year. And now you have to essentially sweep them on the season series, or gentlemen sweep them at least on the season series. It's tough, right? So you need all hands on deck. That's why I was super pumped that Jared Vanderbilt was back. That's why I was super pumped that we're starting to get guys healthy and guys ready to show up and play again. The only one that we're missing is Gabe Vincent. Gabe Vincent doesn't, from the looks of it, doesn't look like he's returning anytime soon, which is unfortunate because we could use him. It's another guy we could throw at like a Devin Booker or whomever, right? And just give us another point of attack guard, stuff like that. So we definitely need guys ready, healthy, locked in, focused. But look, I have full faith in Rui Hachimura. He has shown that he's more than capable of just picking it up and figuring out what he needs to figure out, regardless of how many games or weeks or whatever he ends up missing. I mean, the guy is automatic. The guy is about as butter as it possibly gets. So I don't have my concerns. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you have your concerns? Do you not? Are you okay with Rui being out? Do you think, like, Yeah, like focus on the Suns game. That's more important. You didn't need Rui. You had him if you needed him, but luckily you didn't need him. Kind of continue that approach as we move forward, or do you think no? Like Rui's a guy you absolutely have to have. Got to get him out there. You got to get him some minutes. We need him to play a big role against the Phoenix Suns. Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.